And the final chunk of algebra questions that I've put together for you are things that don't come up very often. They're things that you may have done with your previous teacher and are quite happy with, in which case you probably do them okay. Otherwise, they're going to be far into the paper and it may not be worth your while trying to get your head round what on earth is going on with these when they don't come up very often. Anyway, I will go through them. When you were rearranging formulas, you were using the same rules that you were using when you're solving equations. Basically, what you're doing to undo something is its opposite. And what you're trying to do is to get whatever letter they want you to get on its own. So here, make R the subject of the formula means apply your rules of equations to this to get the R on its own. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the add 4 by subtracting 4. If you subtract 4 off one side, you have to subtract 4 from the other side as well. And then we need to undo the 9 times. Remember, the 9 and the R are joined by a times if there's no sign there. So I'm going to do the opposite of timesing by 9, which is dividing by 9. And remember, in algebra, that means we put it over what's already there is equal to R. So that's the steps that you take in order to get R on its own. That now has made R the subject of the formula. Same thing with question 2. I want to get the F on its own. The first thing I deal with is the take 3. The opposite of taking 3 is adding 3. Then I want to get the F on its own. It's joined by a times 4. The opposite of timesing 4 is dividing 4. And in algebra we write that like so. So those are the 2 rearranging formula questions that I've come up with on previous papers. As I've said, they don't come up very often. Even rarer on foundation paper is an inequality. Now we treat an inequality in exactly the same way as solving equations, with one exception, which on the foundation tier you haven't really got to worry about. So basically this is exactly the same as an equation. You want to get all your x's on one side. It's a plus 2x on that side, so it's going to become a minus 2x on the other side. That gives me 4x is greater than 9. 4 is joined by a times, so it becomes a divide on the other side. It's exactly the same as an equation, but with a different, instead of an equal sign, a greater than sign. Only seen that once. Indices, well, a to the power of 5 is the same as a times itself 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A squared is the same as a times itself twice. So what we end up with is a times itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Same idea here. What you've got is m to the power of 4, which is m times itself 4 times, multiplied by m times itself 5 times, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and you're dividing that by m times itself 3 times. And you can cancel those. For every m you've got on the bottom, you can cancel, you can divide by one of the m's on top. And what you're left with is m times itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, which is m to the power of 6. And the last little algebra technique that comes up every so often is factorizing. Now factorizing is the opposite of putting things into removing brackets. So what you're looking for is things that are common to both of these terms. Well, the x is only in one, so there's nothing you can do there. But if you think that you can write 4 as 2 times 2, so that 4x there I can write as 2 times x, and then the 6 I can write as 2 times 3, you can see that I've got a 2 in each part of that expression. If I take that 2 out of the bracket, then what's left inside is 2x take away 3. You can check you're right just by multiplying out the bracket. 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times 3 is 6. Alright, so what you're looking for is what can you divide each part by? What's common to each part? It's 2. Okay, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3. With the second one, again here, well, I haven't got any numbers that are common, but I can write y squared as y times y, or yy, take away 4y. There's a y common to both. I can take it out, and if I take it out, what am I left with? Y take away 4. Check it by multiplying backwards. Y times y is y squared, y times minus 4 is just minus 4y. And again, that's an algebra technique which doesn't come up very often on the foundation tier. But if you can do it, it's easy marks.